Okay. So I just started recording. Thank you for joining on time. Few students actually told me that they will not be joining today. They have some other issues. Excuse me. Okay. Before actually starting class, let me go back to the. Okay. No, actually, yeah, we can start. We can actually start. Okay. So just a reminder that next Sunday, your test plan is due actually. Whoever is working on the test plan, creating test plan, documentation and everything, this is due next Sunday. So today is actually day 2 for Java. We did few fundamental last class, started Java fundamental, like for example, creating a project class, and discussed about what is main method and how actually basic Java code works. Discussed that how print method works, main method and print method we saw, and without print method you cannot see code on the result on the screen. If you want to see, you need print method. We already discussed that. Different type of data, we saw that data types. We also saw variables. We also saw some other naming conventions, right? Means standard that should be followed. We started operator and we saw some operations, right? Different type of operations. The operations was mostly a lot of reading materials and practice. Basic concept like math, plus minus type of formulas, greater than equal to this type of thing. So if you just do some practice, you should be actually okay with these operations. Like the idea should be clear to you. So today's main topic will be actually control statement. That control statement will be used for several reasons. The ultimate reason is testing, right? When you do testing, you will be just comparing different type of scenarios, right? Different type of expectations versus expected results. So you see that this if else, it sounds like if this is correct, then this is correct. Like you see that like this type of logic, those are kind of logical statement or logical operations, right? Operator, you will find that different type of operators will mostly logical, right? Logicals is coming as a Boolean. So these operations will be very, very important in the future classes and automation testing. So you have to understand those. And on the side note, all of them, you need actually practice. If you just watch the video, probably not good enough. It works maybe 1 out of 100 people, but most of the students, most of the candidate I saw, if you don't do practice, you will not actually understand future classes. So this is the couple of important topic that I will actually cover or try to cover. Not sure about array. If I have time, then I will start array also. Array and exception handling, I will do based on the timing actually. So this is very, very important topic, not only for your automation in going forward, also for interview also, because you have to understand these concepts very, very clearly, how they work actually. So before going to new topic, actually, anybody has any question from the previous topic that we covered, like this stuff? basic Java, how print works, how different type of operations work, right? How variables work, data types work, this type of thing. Anybody has any question from the previous class? Also, I sent you one email about different type of YouTube videos that shows how to download Java JDK in your system or in your laptop. Anybody tried actually?
Yes, I did, and I downloaded.
Okay, okay. No, is so expectation is by this week everybody should have means I'm saying this week means next before next Sunday class, right? Everybody should have your JDK and IntelliJ in your laptop.
Yeah.
So far, whatever we are doing, you can practice online also, like W3 School. But expectation is you should have IntelliJ, because when Joel Vai come for automation practice, you must need IntelliJ actually.
Okay.
Because IntelliJ will be your real life practice. When you go to work, IntelliJ or Eclipse, this type of IDE tool will be used. They will not use something like web-based application like this W3 School. This is good for practice, but real life, you see something like that, try it yourself.
Yes, I did download it.
Yeah. Okay, okay. So another thing, if, for example, if a lot of people, a lot of students need help, we can probably create a session or one-to-one session to download and helping whoever need actually, or facing issues actually, or errors or something. So it depends. You can update your status in the WhatsApp channel that, okay, if you have any issues actually.
I have had an issue with the path, creating the path, and I did like download and then delete it, and then download. It's really took almost an hour for me to download both the things.
But it worked in the like at the end?
Yes, like I did.
Okay, okay. As long as you ran a Java main method and see something as a print, you are good to go actually.
Okay.
I know sometimes you need extra time, but this is a good practice actually, because you are going to IT field, you have to do this type of thing a lot in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do mistake, that is actually sometimes better. You are analyzing more.
Can you please like show the thing which how did you create that class or something?
Sure, sure. So yeah. So if nobody has any questions, so I will go to new topic and I will open my IntelliJ. And as you asked, I will start a new package maybe, and then under the package, I will create new class.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, okay. So this is actually from last class. We don't need. So basically, as I said, so you are clear about how to create a project, right?
Can you explain it again?
Okay, okay.
I
So
really appreciate it.
so this is a folder structure, right? So folder structure means you will keep all your documentation, means test cases, in a folder. And on the left side, left section, this is layout, folder layout. And this is like project will be your parent folder. Under parent, you see these are your child folder. For example, all we have to care about source folder. All of our test cases, all of our coding will be going inside the source SRC. So inside the SRC, you'll be creating package. Inside the package, you'll be creating classes. You can create directly classes also, but as I said, for different type of testing, we'll be naming inside different type of packages. So package will be additional folders that you can add, and then your test cases will be inside those folders. So for example, if you go to file, every IntelliJ has a file. So if you click on file, you'll see new. For example, I want to create a new project. You see that a project? Now, here you will see your version. Maybe if you just downloaded JDK, it will be maybe 17 or 18 maybe, or 17. 17 also new, but 18 is the latest one, I think. You make sure that your version is there. You will select Java for now. In the future, we'll be selecting Maven, but not right now, because still we are practicing Java. So as long as we are practicing Java, we'll be selecting Java. You don't have to select any of this because we are selecting Java. Then next, as I said, remember, if you select this, that means your future classes that you'll be creating will have main method also. So you don't have to write public static void main every time. So you can, for example, selecting this. So that means your main method will be added automatically. You don't have to write separately. Here you just have to give a name, actually. For example, sample project. So this is by default, whatever your location in your laptop. So you don't have to change anything. But if for example, at your work, they give you, you have to keep in specific folder all of the test cases, then you can update the location. But for you, it does not matter in your regular laptop. So now when you create a project, you can just open it as a new window. Now you see that your project's open. New project, right? Sample project. These are some information for the day, tips for the day, like knowledge. Nothing important there. You can read, just see what is the details if you have time. If you don't want to see, just close it. So this is a sample class they already created. You see that sample project inside the source. You have a sample package. So since you selected from the template, so they give you all of the sample here. One of the sample project, one of the sample class. So this is a sample class, nothing else. And all of these sample classes has public static void main. Because we selected the template option, right? If you did not select, only thing you will see this part, nothing is there. So now if you want to write anything, you will be writing here. Anything you want to write, right? Variables or whatever. And then anything like about print, everything is there. Everything will be inside the public static void main. So now you want to see how to, so for example, I am just, if I delete, for example, this one. Or I can just keep it actually, but we'll be actually using other project that we are practicing right now. So how to create a project? Everybody understood how to create a project first?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just closing this one. We are not using this. So this is a sample project we opened. So now once you have a project, for example, right? And as I said, all you have to care about the source folder. Few other things you can check. You have to make sure that external library has your latest JDK version. Like for example, this laptop has JDK 15, maybe your laptop has 17 or 18. Maybe older laptop has 11, 10, whatever. But important thing is has to be at least 8. Anything less than 8 will not work. This is the most important. Other than that, all you have to do, just check source folder. Inside the source folder, you will be creating different type of packages. means you are creating subfolders. Basically, packages are subfolder inside the source. So for example, I want to create another subfolder today. New, you see that? Right click on source, then new. You see that different type of option, right? But you will select package. You can select class also, but we'll be writing or creating classes inside the package. Just select package and you will just give a name, right? For example, Java day 2 or day 2 already there. So Java day 3. So for packages, the standards are lowercase, right? Starting lowercase, but follow the camel casing. So this is my package, newly added package. So inside the package, I will create a class. So what is our topic today? For example, if else, right? Control statement or if else. So if else, for example, I'm creating one class that will have if else. So I'm creating a class inside this package. You see that? Right click on day 3, then you select Java class. So this functionality or this creation style, right? Common for both Mac and Windows. Does not matter what operating system you are using. So class, as I said, if else, if demo, for example, if demo. So class name standard is starting with uppercase. If demo. So why this is red actually? Can somebody tell me? You see that this I gave a hyphen or what is that, like minus? This is not accepted. This is not a valid character. So if I remove this, it will be accepted. You see that if demo class created. So all you have to do working on inside this class. So first, for now, you have to write a name, right? Main method. So what is that main method? Can somebody tell me what is the main method? That will be public, right? Public. Then static. Then void. Then main, right? And then parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis will be string, right? And then square bracket. And then outside of square bracket, you have to write a word arguments. Shortcut is args. So this is args is actually arguments. Shortcut is args. And then parenthesis is gone. Next, curly bracket. So all of your code will be inside the curly bracket. Anything like data type, print method, variables, whatever you are writing, going inside the main method now. It's not going here or it's not going here. So it is going inside this main method because you will be running the code. So anybody has any confusion to create project, package, and class?
No, thank you.
Yeah, okay. So we can start actually today's class actually first. Okay. As I said, these are from last class. So I'm going to topic. This is also last class, different type of comments, different type of operations. Yeah, there are a lot of operations. So you're supposed to practice whenever you get a chance. So this is day 2 stuff, right? Control statement. There are different type of control statement. Make it a little bit bigger. Okay. If you see, there are 3 categories. Selection control statement, looping control statement, and there are some kind of jumping control statement, right? So selection controls, but all of these end of the day will be Boolean. Control statement works for Boolean data type because they work based on Boolean actually. Yes or no. If this is correct, do this. If this is equal to this, do this, something like that actually. So control statement means you will see conditions, different type of conditions. If somebody is 62 years old, then you can be approved for what is that? Medicare, right? Something like that. You see that internal government logics. So all of them actually is if else condition, like control statement. Everything works for control statement. If you have $200,000 income, you will be approved for 800K home, right? Something like that. This is like all of these control statement. So now, first is if else statement. So under the selection, right, you have couple of types, right? If else, switch. Looping has 3 common type: for, while, do while. We'll actually explain all of this with example and we'll practice here. Jump has several things: break, continue, return. So jump sometimes are part of these 2. So even though here is like number 3rd option, but these 2 actually jump, like this one, right? Break, continue, return, sometimes will be part of these 2. So basically these 2 are the main part, like main types of control statements. So these will be actually part of this, but this is not like important interview questions. Interview questions, the important interview questions can be, can you give some example of control statements? So you can say if else, for, do, while. These type of statements are control statements, but nobody will ask me, can you give categories of control statements like selection, iteration? Nobody cares about this. So before going to this, I'm also going to W3 School, because W3 schools are very, very details. They have a lot of details and easy to understand also. So Java if else, right? You see that conditions and if statements, how they works. You will be saying, okay, if something is less than or equal to, if something is equal to, if something is greater than or equal to, then do this, something like that. So there are, you can always read this whenever you get a chance, but I always highly recommend at least W3 School, this section, this left side, just at least read at least once. So those will be actually helpful to understand. So this is a if else statement. So I'm just copying this for now. So if I go to my IntelliJ, you see that I just copied if else statement from W3 School. So if 20 is greater than 18, write this. So if I run this code, will it work? Can somebody tell me? Should I see this one? Yes, I should see this one actually, because 20 is actually greater than 18. 20 is greater than 18. So what happens if I say 20 is greater than 21? Is that right? statement?
False.
If you think about Boolean, it is yes or no, actually.
No.
So should I see this statement? The code will run successfully, but I will not see any statement here. You see that code ran successfully with exit code 0. Exit code 0 means ran successfully, but no statement was given, right, or displayed. So to solve this, or to see this type of scenario, you have another control statement here for if else. Now, if you go to there, this is if, straightforward. If this thing happens, show this. Now you are seeing else statement. You see that? I'm just copying again. So now the other one is gone, right? So now I said time equal to 20, right? So actually I'm changing a little bit. Time equal to 20. Time equal to, for example, I'm writing 12. So now if time is smaller than 12, for example, this is 12 p.m. Just assuming, actually. So if time is smaller than 12 p.m., it will be good day. If time otherwise, it is, or I can say good morning. Or otherwise, good afternoon, maybe, right? Okay. So if I run this, what I should see here?
If time is greater than 12, then you will see good morning. Otherwise, good afternoon.
No, actually said opposite way, not greater than. If time is smaller than 12, it will be good morning.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, sorry. Smaller than. That is the
I
sign of.
should see good morning here. Yes, I should see
Yes.
good morning here.
Sorry.
So, so this is a formula actually, right? So now if I just write it down, instead of greater than sign, if I just write it down, actually that was smaller, right? And now I'm writing
Smaller, right?
Greater. So now it will be good afternoon, right?
Right.
Okay, so code is working. So you saw some basic formula in or syntax. This is called syntax in Java. Syntax, I'm saying formula or statement. This is actually syntax. So in Java, if there are several types, if else, if else, if else, if else. So now I have only two conditions, right? Here I can see I have only two conditions. So what if I write something equal to, actually equal to not this one, equal to like this.
You need to put two signs, right?
Yeah. So I saw greater than, I saw less than. What about the equal to? So I still don't have this option here, right? So there is another option also, but I'll go there later. First, try to understand the concept. So if there is only one condition you are checking, you can give if. If you have two conditions, then you can give if, and second condition will go to else. You see that if, else. So the formula, you see that this is the formula or syntax. If you will give a condition, you have a condition, right? And whatever you want to see. And second, if this condition is not true, you will see the second condition as else. So if, else, and then the second option. You have third option also, right? So third option is this one. You see that there is a third option also. Everybody can see the third options. When you have more than two options, you have to write a else if in the middle. So you can write 10 times, 15 times, 5 times, 6 times, it does not matter. So if else, else, if else, and else if in the middle. So else if condition can be added as many times you need it. If you need 3 times, you can add 3 times. If you need 7 times, you can add 7 times. So you can see this is another example of if, else, and else if. So if else statement has how many types? If else, right? And another one has else if, right? So else if is actually combined with this, but we'll go to switch also. Switch is another option of using this if else statement. So this is if statement, right? I just displayed this from W3 School. Now this is if else. This is if else statement. If some condition is true, go to here. Otherwise, it is going here. And third one option, if, else if, and then else. So third one, I'm going back and checking. This one actually I will show you here again. So I just wrote it down here. So now you see, I'm just copied. I copied from W3 School, right? Time is 22. And then if this time is smaller than 10, it is good morning, right? If it is smaller than 20, it is good day. If it is smaller than, if these both is not true, I'm not saying what is the true statement actually. I did not write anything, but I just said if these statements are not right, then display good evening. So this one, now I'm creating another class to show you real life example. Another one, real life example that day-to-day life you face. New Java class. So I'm writing if else demo. If else demo is my class name. So from here, right? I'm just closing this thing. All you need just main method, right? So everything you have to write here. So what is, if you just check this one, what will be a real life example? Now I'm writing, int. int is my data type. So I'm giving a credit score. I'm giving credit score equal to, for example, 800. So why this is red here? Can somebody tell me why this is red?
We got to put the semicolon.
Yes, semicolon is required. Otherwise, Java code will not work. So before giving actually real life example, anybody did not understand the concept, what is if means, what is else means, what is else if means. This one is important to understand the syntax or formula. This is a formula actually, basically. Anybody did not understand this formula actually? Okay, I'm assuming that you understood since nobody's saying anything. Okay. Now, you already saw a statement here, right? So I'm giving few things. Actually, just first, okay. Okay. If you go to W3 school, I'm just copying this formula. This is just a plain formula. I did not write anything else. Inside this, I am writing a formula. So this is condition 1. This is condition 2. I will add multiple other conditions also. So I'm just copy paste, some copy paste. Okay. So for example, condition 3, condition 2 is there. Okay. This is condition 3. This is condition 4, right? And the last one is default. If all of these 4 conditions are not true, then this one will be executed. So this is the last option when all of these conditions are not true. So they will, or JDK will first check if condition. If this is true, answer will be written here, or whatever statement you are looking for will be written here. Now, if this statement is not true, JDK will move on to condition number 2. If condition 2 also not true, then it will move to condition 3. If condition 3 is good, it will be displaying or executing here, right? Whatever is written. If 1, 2, 3 is not satisfied, or there is Boolean says no, it will move to condition number 4. Then it will execute if condition 4 is correct. If condition 4 is not correct, then by default, whatever is written here, it will be displayed. There is no verification, just display by default. So how I gonna, what I should write now? Just removing this, I will write something else, some print statement I will be writing here, right? I'll be just writing some print statement instead of this block. So just writing this. So everybody understood that what I'm just doing? Just checking different type of condition with if else statement. And those conditions are actually logical operations. So if you go there, right, all I have to do just copy one of these, right, and put it here. I'm not writing anything here. Just copy and paste this part only. So now, what is the condition? So condition, so first condition, it will check. I'm saying if, so you see that credit score, I'll just actually, instead of writing long credit score, I'll just write CS, C score. So if C score, you see that already this is available here because the IntelliJ actually know what is the variable here. This is the variable. So now if I say if credit score equal to or credit score is greater than 800. If credit score is greater than 800, then loan is approved with interest rate um, 2.5, for example. So same thing, I'll be writing several places. So I'm writing here, I'm writing here, I'm writing here. And I'm writing here, loan is denied. So this way, a software like mortgage application works. So it is just checking internal code. Those are business logics. Whatever bank has, right? Bank has some certain business logic that you have to have a good credit score and a good income. Sometimes if you have not good income, then they will check credit score with high priority, right? So all of these are logics. These are actually business logics. Even though they are Java statement, Java code, but they are actually business logics. So if credit score is greater than 800, then interest rate is 2.5. If credit score is greater than 760, for example, interest rate, they're getting maybe 3 point. Now, if same thing, right? Another condition. If credit score is greater than 720, maybe 700, for example, then interest rate is maybe 4. Now, if credit score is greater than 550, interest rate is maybe 6. Else, what does that mean? Anything less than 550, your loan application is denied. So you are not getting the loan. So this is the exactly logic when you apply for a loan for your home or for your credit card or whatever is applying for, right? So now this is a client or user or public. For example, I am going to a bank, Wells Fargo Bank, for my home mortgage or something. So I said I have credit score with 720. Bank asked me, what is your credit score? I said 720. I'm not checking other logics like how much the income. So I'm just simply showing you the credit score one. So bank representative, right? The loan officer, he or she is getting the information and typing everything on the screen. But in the back end, right, developers created the application with Java code. For example, this is the logic. This is the business logic in the backend has, right? With the code. You don't see those, but this is the logic that your application works. So 720. Now, if I run this, what will be the interest rate I'm getting here? I supposed to get 4, right? This is the expectation, maybe, right? Because my credit score is more than 700, but less than 760. Everybody is getting the logic here, what I'm doing. Hello? Can you hear me? Actually, I'm not sure if you're hearing me.
Yeah.
Yes.
If this was like a test, we would test it. It would be like the equivalence partition, right? The
Definitely,
QA.
this is part of equivalence partitioning and also boundary value analysis. You can do both here. But I'm just showing you how if-else statement working here as a Java syntax or Java formula or Java statement. So now if I run this code, you will see loan is approved with interest rate equal to 4%. You will see this on the screen. For example, application was submitted by loan officer, and then he or she found that you are getting 4%. Now your loan officer is creating a report, okay, to the customer, okay, based on your information we got in the system, you are getting 4% interest rate. This is how actually a mortgage application works. Very, very similar process internally they work actually. This is Java. If they have other programming languages, also will have very similar approach. So now another person go to loan officer and he or she has 850, like perfect or good score, very, very good score, 820, for example. So this person should get interest rate, the lowest interest rate 2.5, right? This is the expectation. You see that 2.5. So now another customer went to the officer, and this customer has very, very bad credit score, like 500 or 450. If this application is submitted, the expectation will be loan application is denied, right? So this is the exactly, there is nothing that loan officer sometimes can do. The system is there. All they're doing, they are collecting data from you, providing the data in the system, and then they are just submitting the form. Everything is automated process. But maybe if there is an exception, sometimes after you get this report, maybe you can say, okay, this report looks like not right. Even though my current credit score is 500, but it should be 700. You have to wait maybe 1 more month and get the latest credit report score, and then you have to provide this again. So yeah, you can change this later also, but at this moment, your application was denied based on the information. So this is if-else statement and how they work. If you have more than, for example, if you have another condition with 600 credit score here, you can use this else if another statement, right? So as I said, you can add else if as many times you need. Basic is if and else, right? If this condition is true, then display this. If is not true, display this. So this is if else statement. This can be part of your interview question. Explain if else statement. So you should understand and you should practice also. So if you have a question, you can ask. Otherwise, I will move to next topic, switch statement. So switch statement is another alternative for if else. So some developers will be using switch statement instead of if else, but will be working exactly same way. So anybody has any question for if else statement? You can definitely read W3 School for more details and more example actually. Okay, so going back to next topic. If else is done, now switch. So yeah, those are. So there is another if else shortcut. Let me check. This is also important. Okay. If else shorthand if else, this one. So shorthand if else will be very, very important. So in automation, you will see this shorthand if else statement also. So how it works actually. If you check, let me, okay. This one. You see that? You will be writing some shortcut statement. And then you see that here, this is the example. I'm just showing you here. Actually, just maybe copy paste and take it to the IntelliJ. That will be much easier. So IntelliJ looks much better than actually this UI. So now I'm just creating another class with shortcut if else. So this shortcut if else, right? I just copied and pasted here, right? From W3 School. So what is shortcut if else? Going back to again and just copying this one also. I'm just copying this entire thing just to explain. So since I'm just copying for explain for information purpose, what can I do here actually? I can give a single line comment, right? Like this is 2/ and then paste it. So I can just keep it here just to see how this condition is working. So you will see there is a variable, right? And this variable equal to, this is the syntax you are following. There is a condition. Condition means Boolean, right? if something is bigger, if something is equal, if something is smaller, something like that. This condition means this one. If this condition is true, this statement will be displayed. If this condition is false, second statement will be displayed. You see that there will be a question mark. For true statement, this is the right answer. For false statement, this is the right answer. So how it works actually? Same thing, right? So now you see the variables, right? Time is a variable, and data type is int, and this is a value of this time variable. And there is another one is result. So result, just a variable. Nobody gave the time, just the variable. So this part, everybody got it? Actually, this part, that what is there, what is time and what is string. Okay. Now, so this is the statement that is following this one, the shortcut if else. So result, right, is getting from this variable. Remember, you see there's a variable. So you will see this shortcut when you practice automation sometimes. So here we explain the detailed if else statement, how it works, right? So if you have very less condition, so this is a shortcut of if else, right? If something is true or not, just checking with, this is the shortcut, right? You are creating a variable as a result and then give a condition. If condition is true, display this. If condition is not true, display this. So here it is saying time, right? You gave the time 20. So same thing, we can give time equal to 12, right? Like for example, 12 p.m. 12 p.m. is a baseline that we are giving. And now we are saying that if time is smaller than 12, it is a good morning. And if time is bigger than 12, it is a good afternoon. So we actually did same thing, but in a single line. You see that this is more shortcut. Everybody can see, right, how it is shortcut. Hello, everybody can see, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now if I run this code, what I should see now? I should see, say good afternoon, right? Because 13 means is a military time, 13 means maybe 1 o'clock, right? 1 p.m. And if I say 10, like 10 a.m., it will be good morning. So this is all about if else statement. In the future and for interview and for automation also, if you see if else statement, this is all about this. You will see this or you will see this. Or if you have very, very less conditions, you will see only this. But this one is common, and also this one is common also. More condition, this is the common one. Very, very less condition, this or this. Okay, so if else is done. So now we are going back to switch statement. Switch statement is very, very important. You see that Java switch. So how switch statement works? It is an alternative of if else, basically. So switch statement, the way it works, for example, I will be showing this in IntelliJ also. For example, you are giving some information. Remember I said like credit score or whatever, credit score is here also. This says day, but I can say credit score. It does not matter. So now you will start with this word switch and the variable you created here. Day is here, maybe for me will be credit score instead of day, right? So in switch statement, you will see some case by case statement. So case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5, case 6, and whatever. If you have like 20 case, you can give 20 case. If you have like 5 case, you can give 5 case. So this is the switch formula. So now if I go back to IntelliJ, then you probably will understand a little better. So I'm creating another class switch demo, for example. So switch demo, right? This is a class. And always the first thing is this one, right? Always the first thing, public static void. I'm just, switch demo is here, okay? So everything I write will be inside the public static void main. Otherwise, the code will not run. So as you saw switch statement, what I can do now. So I can give one example of day, right? We just saw. So day is what type of data? Like what type of data type a day? Can somebody tell me what is the data type for day?
String.
Yes. So anytime you give any variable, you have to write a data type. Then you have to write the variable name. String, for example. If it was a int, you can write int. So they say day, right? I'm just exactly following the way W3 School explained. And I was saying this is a Wednesday, for example. And for string, how you should write a value?
Inside double quotation mark.
Yes, so that's why this is red. String will always go inside the double quotation. This is kind of basic fundamental rules you have to always follow. Double quotation and always ending with a statement ending with semicolon. This is very, very common mistake. Many times actually happens. So now for switch, right? Switch statement, they have case by case statement, but we'll be starting with switch. So switch means check first case. If it is not right, switch to next case. If case number 2 is not right, switch to third case. Basically, they're switching case by case. That's the naming convention. So start with switch word, the word switch, and switch will be lowercase. Actually, I wrote it wrong place. So for example, if I write uppercase switch, SWITCH, you see that it is a red. It is a red, but if I just make it lowercase, it will be green. You see that switch? So now is no more red. And anytime you see this yellow or orange type of color, that means they are Java keyword. Only keyword you will not see yellow is string. String is only exception, and also string start with uppercase. So switch, right? And inside the switch, after switch, there is a parenthesis, and then you will give curly bracket. So inside the curly bracket, you will provide all the case by case statement. But here you will first give your variable name. What is the variable here in this class? Can somebody tell me what is the variable?
Day.
Day, yes. So day is the variable and you just provided day. So now you are saying if day is this, write this. If day is this, write this. If day is this, write this. Something like that. So now my first case, for example, I'm saying case. Always start with case. You see that orange, right? That means this is a keyword, Java keyword. So usually Java keywords come as a orange color. And we explained day before yesterday, not day before, last class, that you cannot use Java keyword to declare class name or declare variables or declare method name. Okay. So now I'm saying case equal to Monday. So this Monday, who provide this Monday? For example, I provide this, any user provide this. This is an input, user input, for example. So this one is user input. So as a user, I gave in a calendar, for example, Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Whatever day I gave, based on this, it will be displaying. And to print something, what should I write? System, right? System dot out dot print, right? This one, right? So I'm saying here, okay. So anything I can write. Anything I can write. For example, I'm writing some kind of string here. So day equal to, so I'm saying day equal to plus day. So if I write it down here, day equal to day, what is this day mean actually? Can somebody tell me what is that day mean?
They all represent the variable, right? Whichever the day it is.
So whatever day user will select, that will be this day, right? So I'm giving a lot of day just to show you. So this is Monday, next one is Tuesday. Next one, Wednesday. Thursday. And next one will be Friday. And Saturday. Another one I need. Sunday maybe. So if I If I just run this code, what I supposed to see? What I supposed to see here in this screen?
Can you scroll up?
For example, if I just give Sunday here, if I run this, you see that it is saying day equal to Sunday. What about if I just write Tuesday here? If I run this, what I supposed to see?
Tuesday.
Why I see Tuesday multiple times actually? So this Tuesday, right? It ran this, and also it ran other 5 also. So this is the right answer, this part, right? But this kind of repeating, you don't need this. You see that? So to solve this issue, there is a word JDK use,
Break.
Java use, break, the word break. So that means, break means you are saying Java, whenever you find the right answer, display this and stop running. You don't have to run anything else. Get the right answer and stop there. That's it. So now, if I say, I know Tuesday is the right answer, right? Now I'm saying the word break. You see that this is a statement, break. This is a small word, right? Break. But it is saying that if you find the right answer, display this and then stop running the code. Stop looking for other answer. Basically, this is your command to stop there. You found Tuesday and stop here. You don't have to go further. Now, if I run this, for example, I will see only day equal to Tuesday. Everybody see, right?
Yes.
So you will always see the right answer and system will stop once they get the right answer. So this why, whenever you use switch statement, every statement will have a break also. This is an interview question actually, why you use break. So I'm using break. All of this statement. That means, for example, you are giving here Monday. Right? If you use Monday, if you don't give break, that means you will see all of this. But now you gave break, you said, okay, you found Monday, you don't have to go further. Stop here, display the Monday. So this is switch statement. So this statement is exactly alternative of if else demo like this. So in if else demo, you are saying if day equal to this, display today is Monday. If day equal to Wednesday, display today is Wednesday, something like that. But in switch statement, you are just using if instead of if else, you are using the word case. You see that case? It is like similar to if else statement. So basically the word switch will be switching case by case. So everybody got the idea about switch statement. Very, very important for understanding and interview purpose also. How switch works. And also here you see the break also. and use of break actually. Okay, so looks like everybody got the switch statement. So what is our next topic actually? Not this one. So we saw different type of if else, shortcut if else, and also switch statement. And we saw break also. But we'll see the use of break in the future also for when we use loop. So this is one of the most important topic as part of your Java fundamental and automation also. Loop. You see that loop is very, very important. And where this is coming, if you see different type of control statement, we are done with that. Now we'll be working on this. We already saw something here also, right? You see that break, right? We already saw break here. We will see break here also. So this is a jumping stuff, but these three will be working with these two. So this is actually not three category. Whoever is created is actually, this is the basic two category. So looping. So loops will be very, very important as as part of Java fundamental and as part of your automation interview questions. Why we use loop? A loop is basically statement that will give you repeating lines so that you don't have to write same thing again and again and again. It will reduce your code in smaller size. Instead of 10 line or instead of 30 line, you have to write only one line. There's a specific syntax or specific formula that will give you all the repeating codes, repeating statements. How it works? There are total of 3 types of loops we'll be discussing. First one is for loop. This is the for loop. Let me go to W3 School also. That will be a little bit. Okay, you see that for loop, while loop, and do while loop loops. You see that loops can execute a block of code with a specific condition. So that will save time. This is one of the big things, saving time, reduce errors, and makes the code more readable. Means code will be simpler, smaller, but will be very effective. Reduce time, reduce errors, and will be more readable. Important concept in Java. So there are, as I said, there are a total of 3 types of loops we'll be working on. While loop, for loop, and another one is do while loop. You see that do while loop? While loop has 2 types, while loop and do while loop, and another one is for loop. So we will actually see in the IntelliJ, going back, we're creating one class for loop for now. Java for loop demo. For loop demo. So before going to for loop, all you have to do, just you can write it down. Everything is going inside the main method as of now. So as I said, for loop will be mostly different type of what is that statement you want to see multiple times or repeating, so that you don't have to type it again and again and again. So now first I am writing some statement. Public or not public, system.out. System.out dot print, actually just select this from here, ln, right? I'm saying okay, I am writing something, the value, for example, so the value of the variable is just writing the value of the variable is maybe 1. So this is my one line. So I want to write 10 line, and each of these value of the variable will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 line. One, two, three, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. For example, there's 11. So I want to display this. You see, that is nice. I can see all of these 11 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It looks like Java users, they don't like this style. What happened? You have to display 1,000 different type of lines, similar line. You're gonna write all of them, copy and paste, and this just giving 1, 2, 3, 4, 1,000. So it is, you will see like it's a big chunk of code with different type of line. For 1,000 line, you have to write 1,000 number, you have to write 1,000 line. This is not user friendly or this is not readable, and you need a lot of time, and you can do mistakes. One of this line, and then the code will be failed. So there is an option, loop, for loop. You will give a formula, just one line formula, and all of this line will be executed. You don't have to write these lines. So now I'm just giving all of this line inside a comment. So how can I do multi-line comment? Can somebody tell me? /*, right? And end of this line will be opposite direction */.
You're cutting off.
Oh, you cannot hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. So I'm saying I'm just keeping these lines as a multi-line comment now.
Cutting off again.
Oh, really?
That's probably your Wi-Fi. He's fine on my end.
Okay. So, okay, because from my side, it is showing full Wi-Fi. Okay, so I'm just keeping all of this line as a multi-line comment. So that now all of this will be executed easily using the for loop. So for loop is a formula also, as I said. This is a Java syntax that will help you to repeat all of this line using a single line command. How you can write it? So first start with for, and then you will give parentheses, and inside the parentheses you will give the formula actually, and curly bracket. And inside the curly bracket, whatever you want to see, like this, right? One of this line, for example. So here, inside the for, right? In the parentheses, you have 3 different sections. What is your starting point? You always have to give a starting point. For example, here is my starting point 1, right? And ending point is 11. So in the for loop, always start with starting point. So the number is int, right? Int, starting point. And you can give any variable like I, A, B, C, whatever you want to give. It does not matter. So if I give my name as a variable, it still is okay. So for now, I'm just giving I equal to my starting point. As I said, my starting point is 1, right? And then give a comma or semicolon. What is the proper in Java? Semicolon, right? So now there is second piece, your condition. That means when you should stop. You should stop when you reach 11, right? Here in this example. That means I is. So 11 means you can do 2 things. You can say I is less than 12. This is also true. Or you can say I is less than or equal to 11. So everybody understood why this is less than or equal to 11 or less than 12. This one is important. Hello?
Yes, it can't go past 11.
Okay. So now the last option or last piece that you have to provide in the for loop is the direction. You are going to positive direction or you are going to negative direction. That means you are going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a positive direction, right? Sometimes you will see you are going to negative direction, right? For example, 10, 9, 8, 7. So for positive direction, we have one symbol called plus plus. Going back here, remember we had a symbol increment and decrement. This is the positive direction. So you have to give this direction in for loop. Either plus plus means increment, go move to positive direction, or decrement, minus minus. So I'm giving I plus plus because we are going to positive direction. Plus plus. So everybody understood these 3 pieces that goes as a condition. This is everything about for loop. Now you are giving here, instead of 1, just giving your variable I. Remember, you choose a variable I, give the variable here, I. So now, if I run this, now you can just delete this, for example. You don't need all of these lines. So instead of that 11 line, you have only one command right now. If I run this, I will see exactly same thing. So everybody see that I'm getting exactly same answer just for one command, just using one formula. Before I wrote 11 line and now I wrote only 1 line. Code is much, much simpler. Now, if I say I want to see 100 till 100, all you have to give, you have to change this ending point. Before was 11, now is 100. If you run this, you will see 100 lines here. You see that?
Yeah.
You didn't write 100 lines here. All you have to you have a formula or Java syntax. This is called for loop. That makes your life very, very easy, right? And simple. The code looks very, very simpler, savings a lot of time, very less chance to make error here.
What if you want to go to negative direction? We put
You can go negative direction also. So if you want to go to negative direction, you have to use increment. You cannot use increment. It will be decrement instead of increment. So you want to, okay. So now I am going to, I'm creating another class that I'll show you negative direction maybe. So this is positive, you saw Java class. So positive is called increment and negative is called decrement, right? Or I can actually show you decrement here also. Here. So I'm writing another loop, maybe. I'm writing another loop. Okay. So I can say for everything will be same. You have to just change little bit this one, starting point and ending point, and it will be decrement, right? Instead of increment. So I'm saying I want to display something from 15 to 5. This is my requirement, for example. So my starting point, right? You always have to select the starting point. Int I, right? Remember I. You can give anything. If I give, instead of I give my name, still is okay. It does not matter. This is just a variable name. I gave 15. So 15 is my starting point. So I'm saying I will start from 15 and we'll go backward till 5. And my ending point now, right? So since I use this variable, I have to use same name. And now I'm giving you I plus plus or minus minus, right? So minus minus. So this part you understood, everybody? Now this is just a variable, anything I can give. Before I gave I, now I give a name. I can give anything. Instead of S, just give S also. It's okay. Just keep it maybe simpler. Okay. So now I'm just copy and paste this line. And so far, this part you understood, everybody?
Yes.
This I is red because I did not use I here. I use S, right? S is my variable. So now if I run this, you see that it started from 15. So the first, okay. So before at the middle, I want to give one more line just. I'm just giving a line just to. I'm just giving a simple thing. increment and oh, actually I gave I, right? So this should be E. So decrement. Also, I want to give another line just to keep. So I gave this extra line, just want to show you in the middle, there is a gap. Everybody can see that I just keep a gap here so that you can see, first you can see increment. Second, you can see decrement. You see that I said stop before 5. If I say, okay, add stop after 5, you have to just write a equal to, right? So because it's greater than or equal to. So everybody can see the use of increment and decrement symbol, plus, plus, minus, minus. You will use this a lot in automation practice in the future. And this for loop also will be used a lot. If you want to display something, similar stuff, you don't want to write same line every time, use for loop actually. So if I just, you can delete this or whatever you want. So this is example both increment and decrement. So now this is a number, right? So what about if you want to see something like, okay, so we displayed actually another concept here, right? Okay, you saw this for loop, okay. Going there a little later. Okay, so far I said I used break in a where is that? I used break in switch statement. Now I want to use break in for loop. Okay, so just you have to add. Just showing here. So I said display all the number from 1 to 10. And at the same time I said stop running when it reaches 7. All you have to do, just give breakpoint. And I said 7, right? Instead of 4, just 7. Everybody understood that what I just said? The original statement was still 10, but I said break it at 7. You don't have to go 8, 9, and 10. So now if I run this, you see that 7 should not be running, right? At 7, it is stopped. When it's supposed to go to 7, it is stopped. So till 1 to 6, you see. So this part you understood that what break actually did. Anyone did not understand what break did here? I just added an additional command that, okay, stop at 7th run, means it is 6. Another example here, right, is continue. Break is stopping, right? And continue means skip. For example, if you say continue means don't display this, move to next one. What does that mean? Here, right? I said display the numbers from 15 to 5, but don't display the number for 11. Don't display number 11 to me, actually. I want to skip number 11. All you have to do, just give the continue statement. This is not I, this is S, right? And instead of 4, I said I don't want to see number 11 on my results. If I run this, so now you see this is 11, right? When I run this with continue, it will be going 12 to 10, not 11. Anybody see any 11 here?
No, no.
So this is just, these all about the formula, actually. The style or syntax. This is Java formula or syntax, actually. This is for loop syntax. This is for loop syntax. And we have two more loop. One is while loop and another is do while loop.
Will you just explain the brackets conventions, like how you're using the brackets, when you're doing these loops?
So this bracket, right? So the, excuse me, so you're talking about these brackets?
Yeah, the curly brackets.
So curly bracket is always display the body, actually. So there is a convention, actually, means if you go to so if you go to method object-oriented programming concept, so you will see this later. Usually what happened, go to method first, okay. So you will see always curly bracket will be holding all of your body part, and what is that? Parentheses will be holding your logics, like condition. So this is Java structure, this Java syntax, that actually followed by Java convention. Where I can show you more syntax. Okay, Java syntax. Okay. So anytime you see some kind of method, right? You will see method, all the methods has two portions. The first portion is parentheses, simple parentheses, and second portion is curly bracket. You see that? For example, even main method, right? First starting with simple parentheses, and the second portion is curly bracket. So curly bracket will be holding all the logics, all the statements, actually. And parentheses will be holding all the arguments, that the dependencies. So if you go here now, you will see your parenthesis is holding the formula, and curly bracket is displaying like print statement and whatever you want to display here. Anything you want to see here, that is going inside the curly bracket. The body, this is called body of a method, actually. But these are kind of rules that already Java developers created to use Java. All the programming languages has similar concept. So I'm not sure if you understood or not, but as you do practice going forward, you will see that like there are usually like two sections for each of these type of practice. First part will be simple bracket and second part will be curly bracket. And all of this Java actually will have opening. Anytime you have a bracket, there is two. One is opening and one is closing. You always have to have opening and closing. So for example, this one has opening is this one, right? This class. And this is the closing. So if you just by mistake just delete this, your code will be giving you red. It is not working. So you always have to have a closing statement. Closing either curly bracket or square bracket or parenthesis. And main method also have square bracket. You see that square bracket? So if you just remove one, that will not be working. So you will always have closing statement also. So this is important. If you have opening, you have to have a closing also. But those are just formula that is going inside a for loop. Any other question from anybody else?
No, thank you.
Okay, so I think it is okay. 12:51. You can take maybe 10 minutes or 12 minutes break because we still need at least 1 hour. Let me check. So we did continue, we did break, and we did for loop, we did if else else switch. So now next topic will be while loop. So I think just take maybe 10 or 12, 11 minutes break maybe, then come back. We'll continue the second two types. Because there are a lot of information also in while loop and do while loop. So basically they're very similar, but there will be a little bit of difference actually in the formula. But I think just take 12 minutes break or 11 minutes break and come back for the other two types of loops. So right now is 12:52. You can come back 1:04 after or 1:03, 11 minutes. Take 11 minutes break maybe.
All right, got you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I'm just keeping it mute. Okay, so everybody can see my screen also. Hello. Just want to make sure you can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, so we did for loop. We showed you the break statement. We also showed you continue. So now there's two other type of loop, while loop and do while loop. These are also important, especially for interview purpose. So what is while loop? And you have to know the relationship or differences between while loop and for loop also, do while loop. Okay, so far we did for loop. And now I will create another class with as a while loop demo. While loop. So it is very similar. Okay, so this is a while loop demo, the new class. So let's go to W3 School a little bit also. Okay. So what is while loop? So in the for loop, we saw all of this and this, right, in a single line. But in while loop, they are in different lines. Exactly same thing, but the way it is written is a little bit different, right? In for loop, right, everything was in a single line. You see that starting point, ending point, and plus plus or minus minus means direction, right? Positive or negative direction. Everything was inside one parenthesis inside the for. But in while loop, they are not inside the same parenthesis. They are in 2-3 different lines, right? First line, starting point. Second line, ending point, right? Where it should stop. And then inside the curly bracket, end of the statement, there is positive or negative direction, the sign, right? So this is the difference. Exactly same thing, but written differently. Exactly same thing. In while loop, it is written in one line. It is written in one line, and rest of this written in a third line. So everybody see the formula or syntax. Okay, let's go to IntelliJ. Okay. So now I am going to IntelliJ and writing syntax for while loop. So first step for while loop is you giving the starting point, right? So for example, starting point int I equal to 1. So this is your starting point, for example. And next one will be, what is your ending point, or how long you should run this code? Means ending point, right? Both of them condition. Starting point and ending points are condition. And for inside the for loop, this condition comes inside the for. If you see that, it is for, right? But in while loop, it will be while. Instead of for, you will be writing while. See that? Now you can say you are giving a parenthesis and you are giving how long you want to run it. I equal to, for example, or I is smaller than maybe 5, right? So this is one condition, and you will be writing some statement inside the curly bracket. So in for loop, you saw, for example, I'm just removing this one for now. Starting point, ending point, and plus plus in same line, but while loop, it will be different line. This is the only difference. But here, what you want to see, for example, I want to just copy and paste this one. So if I run this, what's gonna happen? I said run till 1 to 4, or if you want to add 5 also, just give a plus. and run it. So did you see this is exactly kind of same for loop and while loop? So now if I actually just copy this and show you, see, right? I just want to keep one line in the middle. Actually, just write it down. So that it will be better. So I just want to show you that how it is working. And instead of 10, I'm just giving you 5. Again, same thing. Why this is I is red actually? Can somebody tell me why I is red? Can somebody tell me why I is red here?
It's already been used.
Yes, so you cannot use same variable multiple times. This is the reason it is red. So if I give like instead of I, I'm just giving P, for example, it should be working now. There should be no red. So you see that no more red. So now if I run this, so why this is 1 only?
You need to change that I plus plus into P plus plus.
Yes. That will be P plus plus. So now here, right, I equal to 1, I is less than or equal to 5. This one is good. Okay. If I run this, let's see what. Oh, stop. You run. Okay. It seems like. Okay. No, it is good. So now you can see that. Is it any difference? While loop and for loop.
It's the same, but then why we're learning while loop? What is the specialty?
So there are 3 types of loops. This is depends actually. You don't have to use all of these loops actually. You can choose one of them. Some of you will be liking while loop. Some of you will be liking for loop. So there are sometimes when you will be using for loop, and there will be sometimes you will be using while loop, for example. So usually while loop will be used if your expected result is known, you know exactly the value, then you will be using while loop. And for loop, you will be using most like to display all the values. But end of the day, actually both of them will be displaying exactly similar result, exactly same thing.
Or we can say that while loop, when we know that how many times we have to execute the code, we use the while loop. And we use a for loop when we don't know how many times we have to execute the code.
Yes. So there is another similar loop is do while loop. So now you see this is for while loop. Now this is for loop. And another similar loop I'll be using now. For example, actually creating a new class. Do while loop. So this is actually an interview question. What is the difference between while loop and do while loop? So you will be doing same thing. Just okay. So okay, I'm copy paste and then okay. So far we have for loop and while loop here. So now I will just add this one will be just do while loop. I'm just organizing first. Here I will be writing the do while loop. Okay. So do while loop, same thing. The syntax are very similar to while loop. First write it down. Starting point. Always start with starting point. Int. For example, we used I, we used P. Maybe we use something else now. Maybe M. M is my starting point. M equal to 1. So this is my starting point. Now, similar to while loop, since this is a do while loop, I will start with do. And instead of, so what we did in the while loop, after while, we gave the condition inside the parentheses, but now we are not giving parentheses, we are giving actually curly bracket. So inside the curly bracket, I am giving the statement that I want to run. For example, this one. So this is my statement, right? So this is my statement. So this is not I, this will be M, right? And this one also is M. And one thing is missing here. What is missing here? Can somebody tell me what is missing here?
Condition.
Ending point is missing, right? In do while loop. You see the ending point, this one is missing. So ending point will be with while. So this is the name is do while, right? So this is statement that you want to see is coming inside the do and while. the word while will be carrying the endpoint, means where it should stop. And same thing like m is less than or equal to 5, for example. Okay. So now, and this one at the end, you will give the semicolon. So if I run this, what I supposed to see? If I run this, what I supposed to see? Exactly same answer. So this is still 4 because I did not give the equal. I can give equal also. So that will make all of them are same. So since both of them are giving exactly same answer, while loop and do while loop. So what is the difference actually? This is the interview question. So now if you just check a little bit while loop and do while loop. Now, if you give the ending point something different. So I'm giving ending point. I'm changing the starting point as 1. All of them, I'm changing starting point as 1. Equal to maybe 7. All of them I'm just changing. Starting point as 7. For loop, while loop, do while loop. All of them starting point as 7. So now if I run this, only thing I can see in do while loop. For loop and while loop, I don't see anything. Can somebody tell me why you don't see anything? While loop and do while loop? For loop. So first see in the for loop, right? You don't see any result, right? You said my starting point is 5. And now you gave the condition and you said it should run till 5. You see that your starting point is 7 and you gave condition you should run till 5. That means it's not matching. So 5 is actually smaller than 7. It will only run if it starts at 7, right? Here, 7 also. So 7 is not in the scope of running scope, right? You see, everybody can see that why 7 is not in scope here.
Yes.
Similar thing for while loop. You said your starting point is 7, run till 5. Your 7 is already bigger than 5. So 7 is not in your condition. But while loop says starting point is 7 and run this at least one time and then check the condition. So do while loop always run the condition before checking the condition. So it is running this statement. Once it runs the condition statement once, then it will check the condition before running to second time. So that means it does not matter what is the condition, it will always run at least once. So do while loop will always run at least once. So this is the difference actually. So this is actually an interview question. What is the difference between while loop and do while loop? So you see that here. So while loop checks the condition initially, then execute. So basically this is true for also. For loop and while loop checks the condition initially. So anytime before running the code, they will check the condition first, while loop and for loop. But do while loop will never check condition until it runs at least once. So anybody did not understand this statement? Actually, this is the answer actually. What is the difference between why do while loop is different? Anybody has question about the difference between while and do while loop? Okay, so I'm just assuming that you all are understanding this one. Okay. So same thing. If you want to see for loop. So far we just used, what is that? So far we used numbers, right? Now, how can you use actually, for example, if you want to see some word multiple times, can you do this in for loop? So if you go to for loop here, and now I want to write something like, for example, okay. Okay. So how you can see some name. So for example, if I want to see, this probably you cannot, okay. Let's do this. Maybe I gave PM, okay, P. There is P. This is also P. So now, so for example, I want to, so we are, for example, I'm writing, we are practicing. So all of this, I'm just deleting, there is nothing. So if I run this, what's gonna happen? You see that this is not only for the number. Anything you want to write here, it will be repeating. This is not only for number. So this is for starting point and ending point. So this is the main concept for loop or do while loop or anything. So same thing will be for your while loop and do while loop also. It will be applicable for both string and number. Anything you want to see here. So far, go back to. So I will actually suggest you read this also. The concept, there is a lot of information that is very, very helpful to understand. And we already saw this one also, for each loops, right? For each loops means there's the shortcut. For each loops is the shortcut. We already saw breaks, right? Breaks will stop any kind of execution. And we also saw continue. So continue will not stop, but it will skip that line. So anybody has any question about if else switch, for, while, do while? If you don't have any question, then we'll move to arrays. Is another important concept in Java. So these screens I will share with you also end of the day. But anybody has any question? Continue. Okay. So if you don't have any question, I will go to another topic. This is called array. So array is a different type of variable. You will see so far all the variables we saw, right? It carries only one number, right? So far we saw variable, for example, if you go there on day one, maybe, right? No, day two variable, or day two, okay. We did variables in day two. So this is from day two, right? All of these variable we declared. We never wrote b1 equal to two number like 100, then 200, then 300 or 3000. You see that you are declaring variable, but all we saw previously, we can only declare and can keep only one number in this variable. We cannot keep more than one number. So if you want to keep more than one number in a single variable, that will be part of your array. So array will be holding multiple numbers in a single variable. Okay, so let's go and it's deleting all of this, let's closing this. So we will check. Okay, so I'm just keeping this one open and going to array. Okay, you see that the first line, arrays are used to store multiple values in a single variables, right? Instead of declaring separate variables for each time, you are just keeping all the numbers in a single variable. And how it is done. So there are several ways you can do this. This is example, right? String, right? You are using one variable cars, and inside this car you are keeping 4 different car name, right? Maybe you can keep 50 different car name, maybe you can keep 10 different car name, does not matter. This is just an example. So this is just like formula and how you do this, right? So if you go to Java arrays, this is the same thing. String type this way, int type, right? This way. So what is the only difference you see? There's two things you see, right? One is when you declare a data type, right? You give a square bracket. But when you declare only single variable, we never gave a square bracket after byte or short or int, right? But in array, you are giving a square bracket. Another thing you're giving, the list of variable value you are giving, that will go inside a curly bracket. You see that inside a curly bracket. So when you provided only single value, right? When you provided a single value, it was just a single value, no curly bracket. But in array, everything is going inside a curly bracket. So now, if you just copy and paste this, for example, and go there. So now in day number 3, I am creating a new class called array. So how you can do this now? Why this is red actually? So first of all, okay, we'll do this later. System.out.println, right? It should not be red, but just type it down. You have to just type something like that, like is that system.out.println. Now, what is the reason I see this red? Can somebody tell me what is the reason? One of the big reason, I did not write any main method. Everybody can see that I did not write any main method like this. Since I did not write main method, it is giving me already red about the print, because print will not work without a main method, right? You see that there was print, right? Now, if you write it down, it should give you see that? Now no more error. So because I did not have main method, that's why it was giving me error. Anyway, so this is the concept of array. So array will be holding multiple values in a single variables. So now, if I want to see all of this, all I have to do, just give the variable name cars. If I run this, I will see all of these cars here. So this is actually, okay. Okay, process finished with exit code 0. So it ran successfully, but I did not see any cars. What is the reason? Let me check. So I supposed to give you, for example, each of them, right? For example, I want to see a specific car. I have to give the position of this car. And this actually position is actually based on index. The index starts from 0. So for example, here, right? Volvo is index 0. BMW is index 1. Ford is index 2. Mazda is index 3. So you have to provide your index number here. So if I provide my index number, and index number will go inside the square bracket. For example, if I give index number 1, my expectation will be I supposed to see the value BMW. You see that here? Any index you give 3, I will see Mazda. So index always start from 0. So this is one important thing. So you will probably in real testing, you have to give index number. Okay, in this index, what you see, if this is matching with the expectation or not. So, okay. So now you want to add more values in the index or in the list. So what you have to do? All you have to do, just provide index number and give the name. So how you can do this? So before going to that, you have to know few functionalities. So now you want to see, you are checking some website page, right? So you want to see how many cars available in this list. There is option actually. The option is, okay. I'll do this later, but so this option is cars dot. You see that length? This length will be giving you how many number is there, is 4, 5, 6, 7. So now you are checking a inventory website. You want to see in specific column how many number of products are available. So you want to see how many numbers, right? So your expectation is, for example, 30. So now you will be using this type of word, like dot length. This length will give you the number of values, a number of products inside this section or inside this variable. So now if I run this, I will see Mazda, and also I will see a length. How many length should be there? 4. You see that? I see Mazda, I see 4. So now I want to actually add a new car. A new car will be, okay. So this is the way. So you are adding, you see that here? To add a car or add a value, all you have to do variable, and you gonna give an index, and then whatever car you want to add. So for example, there is, I want to add maybe Honda, and I want to add Honda in index number 2. So I'm giving index number 2 and giving a new name Toyota. So now if I run this, what you supposed to see? You supposed to see first Mazda, and then these 4. Okay, so I'm just checking again. So now if 2 comes, okay, index number 2. So here, right? Okay, index number 2 first, and their index number 2 again. So in this index number, right, 2, this 2 has Ford, but after running this, I'm adding Toyota in index number 2, and then I'm checking what is, if it is added or not. You see that if it is added or not, now I should see 3 lines. 1 line I should see Ford. 2nd line I should see Toyota, and 3rd line I should see total is not 4. Total should be 5 now. Everybody see that what I just did? Hello?
Yeah, the total is still 4.
Total still 4, right?
It replaced it. It didn't add it.
It did not add it. So total is still 4 actually. So basically Ford is gone, right? Ford is gone. So I have to add now. So if you want to add, there is another option. Let me go to my, okay. Okay, so add cursor. Dimensional array list. Okay, so I will go back to array list then. Okay, so array list will be more useful for this adding and everything. Okay, yeah. So array and array list, right? So okay. So there is another one, array list. So now I'm creating another class that is array list. So in the array list demo, arrays, let me check if they have array list. Okay, so it is okay. Array list is not here. Okay, it's okay. Probably they have in the different slides. So what is array list actually? It's same thing actually. It's same thing. So array list also will be holding multiple values in your variable, but this one has more functionalities to add, delete, update, anything. So this is a utility package that you have to import from Java. So array list, basically you will be getting, there is a utility package inside the library here. You see that Java 15 or Java 17 or 18, whatever you have, there is a package you have to just import here. And when you write it, you will see that. One second, just okay, for example, I am writing one of these. I'm writing with you see that array list is red. So array and array list, there is little bit difference also here. So before we saw in the array, right? Just naming declaration, we gave data type and then square bracket. In array list, we give array list and then inside the angular bracket, you give the data type. This is the difference here on the left side. Here you give data type and square bracket, but array list, you write array list and then you give data type inside the angular bracket. And then you declare the variables and you give new array list. This is the list you are giving. So there are two ways you can write. So here you can add, right? You can add one by one. And another option I will show you, you don't have to write line by line. You can just provide everything in a single line and can add. So now, as I said, you have to import this array list from this library. If you just move on here, it will be showing. You see that import class? So I imported this Java utility package, and Java utility package is here inside the JDK. So JDK you downloaded in your system, for example, then you can actually see that here. It is just imported here. You don't have to do anything. Just, for example, if you don't have here, it will be red. And if you just move your cursor, it will be showing you the option, import the class. You don't have to do anything. Just click this. This class will be imported. So now no more red. So now if I run this, I should see all the cars. Here, you see that all the cars. I can add more cars also now. if I write, remember, and then dot, you see that you can do a lot of things. You can add the car, you can clear all of this list. You see that clear? If you select clear, that means you will not see all of this. For example, I'm just clearing this. And now if I run this, I will see nothing here because before I run this, it is already cleared. Nothing available. If I just comment it out, you will see 4 again. So similar way, basically, you can add also. And if you want to add now Toyota, just give Toyota. And semicolon, run it, you will see Toyota is added. You see that Toyota is added. So what is another option I want to do? There is another option. Instead of doing all of this line by line, you can actually so this is array list with the for loop. This is array list for loop. So this one is maybe interesting. You should maybe see that. Okay, this one I want to add so that you can see for loop. So here, okay. So what you want to do, instead of like this, right? You want to display all of these cars in nicely one by one. So you can see all of this in a single line, but you don't like this. So you want to see actually using for loop. So for loop will go inside this and display all of this separately. So now instead of just in a single line, it is displaying you nicely one after one, right? In a different line. So you see that you are using actually for loop here with this array list. So always starting point, right? 0. So this 0 means, what is this 0 means? Can somebody tell me what is this 0 means actually?
Index value?
Yes, index 0. So you want the first one. So if you give here 1, then you will not see Volvo, you will see BMW actually. You see that? No more Volvo. So this is index. And this size. So this is another one. In array, right? In the previous one, in array, we saw cars.length will give you the number of total product, right? In array list, it will be size. For example, I can say, you see that here, cars dot. In the array list, it is not length, it is actually size. So now you should see here the size will be 5 and then the list of car. Everybody can see this 5. So all of these can be part of your testing. For example, you want to see in certain page should have 10 information. So you want to make this name like 5, how many total, right? Expected. So this 5 is expected. So now you are saying, okay, for example, I'm saying array. So I'm saying this a, I created a variable int a equal to whatever is the size, right? So now I'm saying if now I can say if else statement, right? If what is the if else statement formula? Can somebody tell me what I did if else statement? We did this, right? If else statement. This is the formula. Or something like this. Actually, just closing this one. What is it? Okay, here. So I'm saying your int expected. I'm saying expected, okay, equal to 5. I'm saying this is actual equal to this one. So this part you understood, everybody? This is actual and this is expected. This is from your document that this page should have 5 cars information. And now I'm saying if cars dot size equal to 5, then test case passed. Otherwise, test case failed. So this part, everybody see where QA is testing here? Everybody can understand this part? Like what I'm testing, how I'm using if else statement with array. Hello? Because this is very, very important concept actually, because this kind of automation testing I'm doing right now.
Yes, if card size is equal to 5, then your test is pass, otherwise fail. If it is more than 5, right?
Yes, so basically, if it is not 5, that means it is not displaying the correct information. You can see test case passed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because this card size here actually 5. So this is expected. So now if I say car size actually 5, but my expectation was 7. So the test case will be failing.
Fail.
So you see that like how actually these logics sometimes, how this logics actually moving forward to test cases, test scenarios and testing.
Yeah, I have a question, but this is for developers, right? These codes and everything.
This one, the basic one is not, basic one is for QA also. Remember I said the automation part.
Right.
Automation needs basic programming knowledge. This is not even advanced actually. This is not advanced Java. Advanced Java is different
Yeah, it's
for
difficult.
developers. These are
Yeah.
kind of basic Java logics that we are testing right now. We will be using same logics with Selenium. Exactly same thing with Selenium. Whatever I'm doing is Selenium also using Java, right? So basically, you can see that where automation is related with this Java actually right now. You can see a little bit right now, right? How we are testing.
Thank you.
So this thing actually in maybe first few classes, we wrote it down in plain English, right? If you see this, it is expected. So we are not writing in plain English, even though we are writing kind of plain English here, right? Test case pass, test case fail. But the whole step-by-step process, this is not plain English. This is, we are following Java concept. So there are more Java concepts are coming next couple of classes also. As I said, at least 3 more classes we have for Java. So this is one of the like sample flavor that how this code will be working for test cases. And this is actually Boolean, right? Yes or no type of thing, yes or no. So basically, if this is yes, pass. If it is no, fail, something like that. So going to few more example for array list. Array list is very, very important because you can figure out a lot of stuff. So far we did, okay, we added this, we displayed the list. You can actually get it. So for example, now for array, right? Okay. For array, what we did, this one, right? We wanted to see something about, okay, writing directly the index, but in array list, what we'll do, we will be getting, okay, not through index directly, we'll be using the word get, dot. You see that dot? Get. You see that get? You will see the word get, and inside the get, you will be giving the index. Before we just gave cars and square bracket and index number. So now you will be giving index number inside the get. So for example, I want to see number 4. So number 4 will be Ford, I think, right? Or Mazda. Actually, number 4 will be, I think, Mazda. Okay. So if I give 4, index number 4, so what is the expectation now? Oh, number 4 index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, actually number 4 is Toyota. It is right. Toyota is coming. So get method, right? So those are all of them built in, and all of them built in because you are importing Java utility package array list. So all of these functionality you are using with array or features are coming directly from this array list utilities. So utilities, this is a package and class inside this Java 15. all you are doing, just importing this one. So what is next? Some of them here also, you can just clearly see. You can just add, or you can just set some specific name with the index number. You can also remove. If you see that there are two types, right? One is clear and one is remove. So you clear will be clearing everything. Remove will be removing a specific car. For example, if I now give another statement, cars dot remove, you see that remove? There are two types. You can remove directly the name, this one, or you can just give the index. So I'm giving the index. I want to remove maybe Ford. So Ford is what index? 1 means 0, 1, 2, number 2. So now if I run this, so if I run this now, and before we saw number 4 was giving me Toyota, right? So what will give you 4 now actually? Can somebody tell me what will give you, you will get from number 4? You're supposed to get an error because now you removed 1 and there is no number 4. This is called exception. You see that exception thread? Index 4 is not available. So next class, we'll be actually doing how to handle this type of exception. You will see these type of exceptions a lot. For example, when you did the arithmetic, right? Arithmetic operations. Now, if you want to give something, okay, going back to data type, right? So here, right? So before we saw all of this, right? All of this is displaying here. So now I want to know what is B1 divided by 0. B1 divided by 0. So if I run this, I supposed to see some kind of exception because any number divided by 0 is infinity, right? And this is exception actually. You see that? This is a error here. So it is not defined. Any number divided by 0 is not defined actually. This is infinity. So it will be arithmetic exceptions. So we'll see the exception in the future class actually. So for array list. So let me go to array list actually because you have to practice a little bit array list also. Should have array list somewhere. Oh, here. You see that Java array list? You practice this one a little bit. Oh, there is a lot of nice example here. How you can add all of this. Remove, size, loops. We already showed this one. Different types, right? Sort. Yeah, you can actually practice. And you see that this add all of them. So these are all the functions actually, or all of these array list related features that you have to practice. these are very, very straightforward. If you just practice, this will be very, very straightforward. It's kind of math. I think we are already 13 minutes after the actual time. Anybody has any questions so far? Whatever we did. A lot of practice is here actually. There's nothing but practice. Hello? Anybody need any more clarification on anything? You can just ask so I can repeat if you need. Okay, so my expectation actually, I'll share this recording also, and also I will share these notes, whatever I have here. But my expectation is you will download JDK and IntelliJ in your system, in your laptop, and practice accordingly. This is array list. And we did some of these if, else, Boolean, switch, loop, right, break, array. All of these you can practice by yourself. Just read first and copy their code on your IntelliJ. Just see how they're working. Just by practicing, you can actually see more clarification. If you have any question, you can always ask next class or in the WhatsApp channel. But if you don't do practice, actually, it will be too much after a couple of weeks, actually. Anybody has any question?
No.
Okay, so if you don't have any question, then we can stop here and just practice as much as possible. Okay, so have a rest. Have a good weekend, actually, rest of the day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. You too.
Okay, thank you.